Imagine this. You're 6 months pregnant, standing at the altar in your white wedding dress, 200 guests watching. The organ music swells. You reach for your groom's hand, and he whispers three words that destroy your entire world. I can't. I'm sorry. Then he runs, actually runs out of the church, leaving you there, pregnant, humiliated, alone. But that's just the beginning. Because when you discover why he left, when you find out who he left you for, when the truth comes out in a courtroom with your uncle as the judge, when DNA results reveal a secret that destroys an entire family, you realize something. Sometimes the worst betrayal leads to the greatest freedom. This is Claire's story. 90 minutes of truth, of courage, of justice, and of discovering that the prison door was unlocked all along. Stay with me, because what happens next, you won't believe it. The organ music swelled. Claire took a deep breath. Through her veil, she watched Tyler's face go white. Her heart hammered. The walk down the aisle felt endless. White roses lined every pew. Their perfume made her dizzy. Or maybe that was nerves. 6 months pregnant and getting married. Not the order she'd planned, but Tyler had been so excited about the baby, so supportive, so loving. Claire's father squeezed her arm. You look beautiful, sweetheart. She smiled. The lace of her custom wedding dress draped perfectly over her rounded belly. The seamstress had done magic, made her feel like a princess, not like a pregnant woman scrambling to get married before she showed too much. Guests stood, heads turned. Claire saw her mother dabbing tears in the front row, Aunt Helen beaming, Rachel, her maid of honor, grinning like an idiot. Even old Mrs. Henderson from next door had come. Tyler stood at the altar in his charcoal gray suit, his best man Marcus beside him, Tyler's older brother. Always so kind, always asking about her teaching job, about the baby, about whether they needed anything. But Tyler wasn't smiling. His hands shook, visible even from halfway down the aisle. Sweat beaded on his forehead. His eyes darted to the side door. Claire's steps faltered. Something was wrong. Very wrong. Keep walking, her father whispered. She did, one foot in front of the other. The music felt too loud, too bright, everything too much. Her dress suddenly felt heavy. The baby kicked, hard, like even the baby knew. 10 more steps. 5. 3. Claire reached the altar. Her father kissed her cheek, placed her hand in Tyler's. Tyler's palm was slick with sweat, cold, trembling. Dearly beloved, the minister began, we are gathered here today to join this man and this woman in holy matrimony. Tyler's face had gone from white to green. He swayed slightly. Marriage is a sacred bond, the minister continued, not to be entered into lightly. Tyler's eyes met hers. For just a second, in them, she saw something that made her stomach drop. Not love, not joy, not even nervousness. Terror, and something else. Guilt. If anyone has reason these two should not be wed, speak now or forever hold your peace. Silence. Heavy. Terrible. Tyler? Claire whispered. Are you okay? He pulled his hand away, actually stepped back, away from her, away from the minister, away from everything. I can't do this, Tyler said. The words hung in the air. Impossible words, words that didn't make sense. What? Claire's voice came out tiny, broken. I can't do this, Claire. Louder now. Guests were murmuring, shifting. I'm sorry. Tyler, what are you talking about? Her mother's voice, shrill, panicked. I'm sorry, Tyler said again. And then he turned, actually turned, and walked toward the side door. Tyler! Claire couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Tyler, stop! He didn't stop. He walked faster, then ran. The side door banged open, sunlight streamed in, and Tyler disappeared through it. Gone. The organ music stuttered, stopped. Gasps echoed through the church. Someone screamed, maybe her mother, maybe herself. Claire stood frozen. The bouquet slipped from her hands. White roses scattered across the marble floor. Her veil felt like a cage. The dress like a costume. The baby kicked again. Frantic movements, like the baby was trying to escape too. Claire, Rachel appeared at her elbow. Come on, we need to get you out of here. He left, Claire heard herself say. He just left. I know, honey, I know, but we need to move. The guests were standing, talking, staring. So many eyes, so much pity. Claire wanted to disappear, to melt into the floor, to wake up and discover this was a nightmare. But it wasn't. This was real. Tyler had left her, at the altar, pregnant, in front of everyone. This way, Rachel guided her toward the back rooms. Denise is clearing people out. Denise, the wedding planner, 15 years of experience, 500 weddings coordinated. And this was the worst she'd ever seen. She'd said so when they'd met. How romantic their story was. How special. Nothing felt special now. The bride's room was small, quiet. Someone had left a glass of water on the table. Claire sat heavily, the dress puffed around her like a white cloud, a prison of tulle and lace. Her hands shook. She reached for the water. Her fingers trembled so badly she couldn't grip the bottle. Once, twice, 3 times. The bottle slipped. Water spilled across the table. Here, Denise appeared, opened another bottle, handed it to Claire. Small sips. Claire drank. The water tasted like nothing, like air, like the hollow space in her chest where her heart used to be. Her mother rushed in, mascara running, face red. That boy, that stupid, cowardly boy. I'm calling his mother. I'm calling everyone. How dare he do this to you? Mom, Claire's voice sounded far away. Can you not, right now? Patricia Bennett stopped, looked at her daughter. Something in her face crumpled. Oh, baby. I found something. Rachel held up an envelope, Claire's name written on the front in Tyler's handwriting. It was in his tux jacket. He left it in here earlier. Don't. Claire didn't want to know, couldn't know. Rachel opened it anyway, read silently. Her face went hard. That son of a bitch. What does it say? Denise asked. I love someone else. I can't pretend anymore. I'm sorry. Rachel crumpled the paper. That's it. That's all he wrote. The room spun. Someone else. Tyler loves someone else. All those months, all those promises, the proposal by the lake, finding out about the baby, his tears of his excitement about becoming a father. All lies. Every single moment. Lies. Claire, Rachel knelt beside her. This isn't your fault. You know that, right? But Claire didn't know anything anymore. The man she'd loved, the man she'd trusted, the father of her baby. He'd looked her in the eye and run away. This isn't real. This can't be happening. Things like this don't happen. Not to real people, not at actual weddings, but it had. It did. And Claire was sitting in a bride's room in a wedding dress, still pregnant, still alone, while 200 guests whispered and stared and pitied her outside these walls. Her phone buzzed. Rachel grabbed it, looked at the screen. Don't, Rachel said, just don't look at this yet. What is it? Claire asked. Rachel didn't answer, but Denise looked. Her face went pale. Oh no. What? Claire reached for the phone. Rachel pulled it back. Rachel, give me my phone. Claire, you don't need to see this right now. Yeah. My phone. Rachel handed it over, slowly, like she was handing over a bomb. Claire opened an Instagram, Tyler's profile, posted 9 minutes ago, a photo of him and a woman Claire recognized, Amber Hayes. She worked in marketing at Tyler's company. They'd met at the Christmas party. She'd seemed nice, friendly, normal. Tyler had his arm around Amber. They were smiling, really smiling, happy. The caption read, finally free to be with my true love. Claire scrolled. Comments were rolling in. Friends, coworkers, people she knew. About time, man. So happy for you both. Love wins. Love wins. Her hands shook. The phone almost dropped. She clicked on Amber's profile, her most recent post from 8 minutes ago. A photo of her hand on a small baby bump. Caption, our baby deserves parents who choose each other. Our baby, Amber, was pregnant too. The room tilted. Claire couldn't breathe, couldn't think. Tyler had gotten someone else pregnant. While she was pregnant, while he was proposing marriage, while he was painting the nursery, while he was holding her hand at doctor's appointments. How long? Claire whispered. We don't know, Rachel said gently, but they would. Claire opened her messages, scrolled to Tyler's name, months of sweet texts, photos, plans. She opened the settings, checked the cloud backup. Tyler had always been careless about technology, never cleared his deleted messages properly. There, in the deleted folder, text to Amber going back 6 months, 6 entire months, the length of Claire's pregnancy. She read, each message a knife, each word a betrayal. Valentine's Day. When Tyler said he had to work late, he'd been with Amber. That business trip to Seattle. With Amber. The night Claire had been sick with morning sickness and he'd stayed at his brother's. With Amber. Every moment, every excuse, every lie. All there in black and white. Claire set the phone down. Carefully. Like it might explode. Her hands moved to her belly. The baby kicked. Steady, insistent, alive and real and depending on her. She stood. The dress whispered against the floor, layers and layers of silk and lace. She reached back, found the first button, started working it free. Each button a tiny act of reclamation, the relief and grief of taking off a costume. Let me help, Rachel said. No. Claire's voice was steady now, clear. I need to do this. Button by button, the dress loosened, the bodice sagged. A lavender sachet fell out, something old, from her grandmother's wedding. It hit the floor. The smell filled the room. Sweet, suffocating. Claire stepped out of the dress, stood in her slip, white silk against pale skin. She looked at herself in the mirror, 6 months pregnant, abandoned, humiliated, betrayed, but still here, still breathing, still alive. Rachel, Claire said quietly, I need you to call someone. A lawyer. Eventually, Claire picked up her regular clothes, the jeans and sweater she'd worn to the church. But first, I need to call my Uncle Rob. The drive home felt endless. Rachel behind the wheel, Claire in the passenger seat, still in her slip in the emergency clothes Rachel had grabbed from her car. Her mother following behind. The city passed in a blur of lights and sounds that didn't matter. Claire's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Messages, calls, social media notifications. Everyone had an opinion. Everyone had something to say. She turned it off, watched the dark screen, felt nothing. We're here, Rachel said softly. The apartment, hers and Tyler's, except not anymore. Just hers and the baby's. The thought made her stomach turn. Inside, everything looked the same. Their couch, their kitchen, their life together, except it had never been theirs. It had been his lies, his deception, his careful construction of a fantasy. I'll make tea, her mother said, always practical, always moving. Tea solved nothing, but it gave hands something to do. Claire sat on the couch, the same couch where Tyler had proposed, where they'd watch movies, where he'd placed his hand on her belly and talked to the baby. All of it, every moment. Poisoned now. Rachel handed her Tyler's phone. You left this in the church. It was in his jacket. Why would I want his phone? Because it has answers. Rachel sat beside her. And you deserve to know the truth. All of it. Claire took the phone. Tyler never changed his passcode. 0327. Her birthday, March 27th. Even that felt like a lie now. She unlocked it. Messages from Amber. Hundreds of them. She opened the thread, started reading. Each word another piece of her world crumbling. 4 months ago. Amber. I'm pregnant. It's yours. Tyler. Are you sure? Amber. Positive. What do we do? Tyler. I don't know. I need time. 3 months ago. Tyler. Claire is pregnant too. 6 months along. Amber. What? You said you two weren't sleeping together. Tyler. It was one time, a mistake. A mistake, their baby, the life they'd created, a mistake. Claire kept reading, her fingers numb, her body cold. 2 months ago. Tyler. I'm going to marry Claire. For appearances, but we'll be together after. Amber. I don't want to be the other woman. Tyler. You won't be. I promise I'll leave her after the baby's born. File for divorce. We'll raise our baby together. Our baby. He'd written those words to Amber, while kissing Claire goodnight, while rubbing her swollen feet, while promising forever. 1 month ago. Tyler, the wedding is in 4 weeks. After that, I'll tell her. I'll explain everything. Amber, you better. I'm tired of hiding. Claire's hands shook. She set the phone down, looked at Rachel. He was going to leave me after the baby was born. That coward, Rachel said. He couldn't even follow through with his own terrible plan. 6 months. Claire's voice broke. He's been lying for 6 entire months. Her mother appeared with tea. Claire didn't drink it, just held the warm cup, felt the heat against her palms, proof she could still feel something. Anything. We need to get ahead of this, Patricia said. Damage control. What did he take? Money? Property? Claire hadn't thought of that. She set down the tea, walked to the home office, opened the desk drawer where they kept important papers, the checkbook for their joint account. She opened it, looked at the balance. Zero. $0 and 0 cents. He emptied it, Claire said. Voice flat. The joint account. He cleared it. When? Rachel looked over her shoulder. Claire checked the register. 3 days ago, $50,000. He withdrew everything. Her mother was already on the phone. I'm calling the bank. He can't just steal from you. It's a joint account, Claire said. He didn't steal. He took what was legally his. That money was for the baby, Rachel said. Her face was red, furious. Your savings, the nest egg you've been building. He took it. Claire walked back to the living room, sat down. The walls felt close, suffocating. He planned this, all of it. The mail sat on the coffee table. Claire picked it up, sorting through numbly. Bills, advertisements, a credit card statement for a card she didn't recognize. She opened it, scanned the charges. Designer clothes from Nordstrom, jewelry from Tiffany, hotel rooms at the Four Seasons, spa treatments, restaurant bills, page after page. $53,000 in charges. To Amber. All of it. Tyler had opened a credit card in his name, charged everything to it. Gifts, trips, their affair, all funded on credit. He charged $53,000, Claire heard herself say. For her, for them. Rachel grabbed the statement. Read it, her jaw clenched. Honey, we need to call a lawyer, like now. I'm not crazy, Claire said quietly. The words came from somewhere deep, somewhere certain. This was all planned, every bit of it. Her mother sat beside her, took her hand. No, baby, you're not crazy. You're the only sane person in this whole mess. Claire's phone buzzed. She turned it back on without thinking. A text from an unknown number. She opened it. I'm sorry, I know that doesn't help, but I am. You didn't deserve this. Tyler is a coward. You're better off without him. Denise. Denise, the wedding planner. A stranger, really. Someone paid to coordinate flowers and music. And she cared more than the man Claire had planned to marry. More texts came. Friends, co-workers, Tyler's family. Everyone expressing shock, outrage, pity. The pity was the worst. Claire could feel it through the screen. Poor Claire. Poor pregnant Claire. But one name was missing. One person who should have called. Who Claire suddenly needed more than anyone. I need to call Uncle Rob, Claire said. Her mother frowned. Robert? Honey, you two haven't spoken in years. I know, Claire stood, paced. But I need him. Tyler always. He always made excuses. Why I shouldn't spend time with Uncle Rob. Why family dinners were too much. Why we were too busy. He kept you away from Robert, Rachel said slowly. Why would he do that? Because Uncle Rob is a family court judge, Claire said. The pieces were falling into place. The picture getting clearer. Tyler knew. He knew if Uncle Rob spent time with him, really got to know him, he'd see through everything. Claire found her phone, scrolled to contacts, found her uncle's number, saved from years ago, before Tyler, before everything. She pressed call. The phone rang once, twice. Claire? Her uncle's voice, deep, warm, familiar. Claire, is that you? Uncle Rob, her voice cracked. I need help. I heard what happened, he said. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Where are you? Home, my apartment. Stay there, I'm coming over. A pause. Claire, that boy is a fool. You hear me? A complete fool. I don't know what to do, Claire whispered. You don't have to know. Not yet. His voice was firm, strong. Just stay put. I'll be there in 20 minutes. He hung up. Claire set down her phone, looked at her mother and Rachel, both watching her with worried eyes. He's coming, Claire said, and for the first time since standing at that altar, since watching Tyler run away, since discovering his lies, Claire felt something other than pain. She felt a tiny spark of hope. The doorbell rang exactly 20 minutes later. Claire opened it. Uncle Rob stood there, tall, solid, silver hair and kind eyes. The same man who'd given her piggyback rides as a child, who'd taught her to play chess, who Tyler had systematically erased from her life. Uncle Rob? Claire's voice broke. He pulled her into a hug, careful of her belly, strong arms around her shoulders. I've got you. I'm here, Claire cried, really cried. Not the shocked tears from the church, not the numb silence of the car ride. Deep sobs that came from somewhere ancient, primal. The sound of a heart breaking in real time. It's okay, Rob murmured. Let it out. That's right. When she could breathe again, they moved inside. Rob greeted Patricia and Rachel, thanked them, then turned to Claire. Tell me everything. Claire did. The wedding, the note, the Instagram post, the deleted text, the emptied bank account, the credit card charges, all of it, every horrible detail. Rob listened, didn't interrupt, didn't offer empty platitudes, just listened. That boy, Rob finally said, his voice was ice. I knew he was wrong for you. You barely met him, Claire said. Exactly. Rob leaned forward. In 3 years, how many times did I see you two together? Twice, maybe 3 times, always brief. Always him making excuses to leave early. He said you were too opinionated about relationships. Rob laughed. Bitter, sharp. He said that, did he? Interesting. What I actually told him was that marriage is sacred, that you deserve someone who would cherish you, who would put you first. He shook his head. He didn't like that, made sure we never spoke again. Claire felt sick. The manipulation, the control, she hadn't seen it. How had she not seen it? Don't, Rob said gently. Don't blame yourself. Men like Tyler are very good at what they do. They isolate. They control. They make you doubt your own instincts. What do I do? Claire asked. First, you rest. Tonight, you process. Tomorrow, we plan. Rob pulled out his phone. I'm going to give you a name, Sandra Mitchell. Best divorce attorney in the city. She'll protect you. Divorce, the word felt strange. Foreign. Final. He's going to come after you, Rob said. Trust me, men like this, when cornered, they attack. Come after me how? He's going to try to claim that baby isn't his. Rob's voice was gentle but firm. He's going to allege infidelity, fraud, whatever it takes to avoid responsibility. Claire's hand went to her belly. That's insane. This baby is his. I know, you know, but he'll try anyway. Rob stood, paced. We need documentation, prenatal records, DNA test, financial records showing your assets, everything. This is really happening, Claire said. Her mother appeared with hot chocolate, the same kind Rob's wife Helen used to make, marshmallows and cinnamon. Claire took the mug, wrapped her hands around it, the first real comfort of the night. Come with me, Rob said. Both of you, stay at our house tonight. I can't leave, Claire said. This is my home. Is it? Rob looked around. Or is it the place where he lied to you for 6 months? Claire followed his gaze. The photos on the walls, her and Tyler, smiling, happy, all lies. The couch where he'd proposed, where he'd planned to abandon her. The nursery down the hall, painted blue because Tyler insisted. Said he had a feeling it was a boy. Actually, it's a girl, Claire said suddenly. Rachel looked up. What? The baby. The doctor told me last week. A girl. Claire hadn't told anyone yet. had wanted to surprise Tyler on the wedding night. I was going to tell him tonight, after everything. A granddaughter, her mother said softly. Claire stood, walked to the coat closet, pulled out Rob's old cardigan, the same one he'd worn for years. He'd left it at a family dinner 3 years ago, before Tyler. Claire had kept it, worn it sometimes when she missed her uncle, when she felt alone. She wrapped herself in it now, the sleeves too long, the wool scratchy but familiar, smelling like Rob's house, like safety, like home. Okay, Claire said, let's go to your place. Rob smiled, sad but warm. Helen will be thrilled. She's been asking about you for years. They gathered Claire's things, overnight bag, prenatal vitamins, phone charger, the small stuff of daily life. Claire looked back once, at the apartment, at the life she'd thought she had. Then she closed the door, locked it, walked away. In Rob's car, Claire stared out the window. The city lights blurred past, people living normal lives, going to dinner, walking dogs, being happy. The world hadn't stopped, just hers. Claire, Rob said quietly, I need you to prepare yourself. This is going to get uglier before it gets better. How much uglier can it get? Rob was quiet for a long moment. He's planning something, I can feel it, the timing, the Instagram posts, the cleared bank account. This isn't random panic. This is calculated. What do you think he's planning? I don't know yet. Rob turned onto his street, but we're going to be ready. Whatever it is, we'll be ready. They pulled into Rob's driveway. The house looked the same, Victorian, blue shutters, porch swing. Aunt Helen opened the door before they even got out of the car. Oh, sweetheart, Helen hugged Claire. Come in, come in. I've made up the guest room. Inside smelled like cinnamon and coffee, like Claire's childhood, like before everything got complicated. She sank into the couch in Rob's study, surrounded by law books and diplomas, evidence of a life spent seeking justice. There's something off about this whole situation, Rob said. He was pacing, thinking. Tyler running, Amber being pregnant too, the timing of everything. What do you mean? Claire asked. I don't know yet. Rob stopped, looked at her. But I've been doing this a long time, and my instincts are screaming that there's more to this story. Claire wanted to ask more, but exhaustion hit like a wave. Bone deep, soul deep, the kind that comes from having your entire world collapse in a single day. Bed, Helen said firmly. Questions tomorrow. Tonight, you rest. Claire let herself be led upstairs, to the guest room, to the bed with the handmade quilt. She crawled under the covers, still wearing Rob's cardigan, still smelling safety. Sleep should have been impossible, but her body knew she needed to shut down, to reset, to survive. The last thing Claire heard was the baby kicking. Steady, persistent, alive. And somewhere in the darkness, Claire found a thought, clear and certain. She had two choices. Be the victim everyone expected, broken and pitiful, or be something Tyler never anticipated. The decision terrified her, because the second path meant admitting she'd ignored warning signs for 2 years. It meant facing her own complicity in staying when red flags appeared. It meant being the kind of strong she'd never needed to be before. The first path was easier, familiar, safe. The second path? Unknown, dangerous. But hers. Morning came too soon. Claire woke to sunlight streaming through unfamiliar windows. For one beautiful second, she forgot. Then reality crashed back. The wedding. Tyler. All of it. Her phone showed 37 missed calls, 62 text messages. She didn't open them. Couldn't. Downstairs, Helen had made breakfast. Pancakes, bacon, orange juice. The smell made Claire's stomach turn. Morning sickness, Helen said kindly. I have crackers and ginger tea. Claire nibbled a cracker. Sipped the tea, felt slightly more human. Rob's been up since 5, Helen said, making calls, planning. He's very worried about you. I heard my name. Rob appeared, dressed in a suit, looking official. Claire, we need to talk. Something in his voice made her stomach drop. What happened? Tyler's attorney served papers this morning. Rob set a folder on the table. I had them sent here. Figured you didn't need to go back to the apartment yet. Claire opened the folder. Legal documents. Dense. Confusing. She scanned them. Certain words jumped out. Annulment. Fraud. Paternity. He's claiming fraud, Rob said quietly. Says you trapped him with a pregnancy that isn't his. The world tilted. What? He's alleging you had an affair, that the baby might not be his. He's requesting a paternity test before agreeing to any support. Claire couldn't breathe, couldn't think. That's insane. I would never. I know. Rob's voice was steady, calm, grounding. This is what I warned you about. He's attacking first, trying to control the narrative. But people know me. Claire's hands shook. They know I wouldn't. Doesn't matter, Rob said. He's already posted on social media, deleted the original posts with Amber, put up new ones, saying you were controlling, jealous, that he couldn't take it anymore. Claire grabbed her phone, opened Instagram, Tyler's profile, new posts, photos she didn't recognize, captions about feeling trapped, about needing freedom, about making difficult choices. The comments were mixed now. Some people defending her, others questioning, saying they had always thought she was clingy, too demanding, that Tyler deserved happiness too. He's rewriting history, Rachel said. She'd arrived while Claire was looking at her phone, making himself the victim. Classic abuser tactic, Rob said. Get ahead of the story. Make her the villain before she can defend herself. What do I do? Claire asked. First paternity test. We'll do it today. Get definitive proof. Rob pulled out his phone. Second, you meet with Sandra Mitch. Get legal representation immediately. Third, you say nothing publicly. Not yet. He gets to lie about me, and I have to stay silent? For now. Rob's voice was firm. Trust me, the truth will come out, but we need to be strategic. Claire's mother arrived, brought clothes from the apartment, fresh underwear, maternity jeans, a sweater, normal things, except nothing was normal anymore. There's more, Patricia said, her voice tight. I got a call this morning from Margaret Westwood, Tyler's mother, Claire's almost mother-in-law. What did she say? Claire asked. That you seduced her son, got pregnant on purpose to trap him, that she always knew you were beneath him. Patricia's hands clenched. I hung up on her. She's protecting him, Rob said. Family does that, even when they shouldn't. Claire stood, walked to the window. Outside, people were jogging, walking dogs, living. How did they do that? How did anyone do anything when the world could collapse so completely? I need to see Sandra Mitchell, Claire said. Today. Rob made the call. An hour later, they were in downtown offices, glass and steel, high above the city, Sandra Mitchell's firm. The receptionist led them to a conference room. Sandra appeared 5 minutes later. Sharp suit, sharper eyes, maybe 41. Confident, powerful. Claire Bennett, Sandra said. Shook her hand. I've heard about your situation. I'm very sorry. Can you help me? Claire asked. Absolutely. Sandra sat, opened a laptop. First, let's talk about the paternity test. You'll take it, you'll pass, then we bury him. Is it that simple? No, Sandra said, because there's something else going on here. She turned the laptop around, showed Claire a series of photos. Marcus Westwood, Tyler's older brother, with a woman Claire recognized, Amber. They dated, Sandra said, 2 years ago, for about 6 months. Messy breakup. Claire stared at the photos. Marcus and Amber, looking happy, looking in love, at restaurants, at the beach, at family dinners. When did Tyler and Amber start dating? Claire asked. 3 months after Marcus and Amber broke up. Sandra pulled up more photos. Tyler swooped in, offered comfort, started their affair. Why does this matter? Claire's brain felt slow, foggy. Because, Sandra said slowly, the timeline is interesting. Marcus and Amber broke up in August. Tyler and Amber got together in November. Amber is now 4 months pregnant, which means conception was in June. Claire did the math. Yati is before November. Exactly. Sandra leaned forward. I'm not saying anything definitive, but we need to look at all angles. And one angle is that Amber's baby might not be Tyler's. You think it's Marcus's baby? Rob asked. I think it's possible. Sandra closed the laptop. And I think Tyler might not know. Or maybe he does and doesn't care. Either way, there's more to this story. Claire's head spun. Tyler, Amber, Marcus, lies upon lies upon lies. What do we do? Claire asked. We document everything, Sandra said. We take your paternity test. We build your case. And we wait for Tyler to make his next move. What if Amber's baby is Marcus's? Claire asked. Then this whole thing explodes, Sandra said. And we'll be ready. They spent 2 hours in Sandra's office, going through finances, timelines, evidence, building a case, protecting Claire, preparing for war. By the time they left, Claire felt slightly more solid, like she had an army now, small, but fierce. At home that night, back at the apartment, because Claire refused to run, refused to let Tyler take her home too. She sat at the kitchen table, filed her nails, one by one, methodical, precise, the busy work that kept panic at bay. Her phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. This is Amber. I need to talk to you, alone. Claire stared at the message. The woman who'd destroyed her life, who'd slept with her fiancé, who carried his supposed baby, wanting to talk. Claire typed back, why would I ever speak to you? 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Because I made a terrible mistake, and I think you're the only person who can help me. Claire's finger hovered over delete. She should block this number, ignore it, move on. But curiosity won, and something else. A growing certainty that Tyler wasn't the mastermind here. Someone else was pulling strings. Tomorrow, Claire typed, 3 o'clock, the coffee shop on Madison. Come alone. Thank you, Amber replied. Claire set down her phone, looked at her nails, all filed, all even, all perfect. Tomorrow she'd meet the mistress. Tomorrow she'd hear the truth, or more lies. Either way, Tyler's carefully constructed world was about to crack wide open. The doorbell rang at 2:47, 13 minutes early. Claire almost didn't answer, almost pretended she wasn't home. But Rachel was already moving, opening the door, revealing Amber Hayes, small, blonde, pretty, also visibly pregnant now. You came here, Claire said. Not a question, a statement. The coffee shop felt too public. Amber's voice shook. I thought, maybe here, if that's okay. It's not okay. Rachel blocked the doorway. Nothing about this is okay. Rachel, Claire said quietly, let her in. Rachel looked at Claire. Are you sure? Her eyes asked. Claire nodded, not sure at all. But needing to know, Amber stepped inside, looked around, at the apartment she'd helped destroy, at the life she'd helped end. Sit, Claire said, pointed to the couch. Amber sat, perched on the edge, nervous. Her hand went to her belly, protective, unconscious. Claire's hand did the same. Both women, both pregnant, both betrayed by the same man. The symmetry was almost funny, almost. Talk, Claire said. Amber took a shaky breath. I'm sorry, I know that doesn't help, but I am. You didn't deserve what happened. No, Claire agreed. I didn't. But you did it anyway. I thought I loved him. Amber's voice cracked. I thought he loved me. He told you that? Rachel asked, still standing, still ready to throw her out. Yes, Amber wiped her eyes, mascara smudged. He said you two had an arrangement, that the marriage was for show, that he was going to leave after the baby came. Claire's stomach turned. He said that about me? He said you knew, that you'd agreed, that you wanted the security of marriage, but didn't love him either. Amber looked up, met Claire's eyes. I believed him. I'm so stupid. Why are you telling me this? Claire asked. Because, Amber said slowly, I saw what he did at the wedding. I saw how he left you, and I realized he's going to do the same thing to me. Good, Rachel said. You deserve it. Maybe. Amber's voice was small, but my baby doesn't. Silence. Heavy. Complicated. Claire studied Amber, really looked at her, saw the dark circles, the bitten nails, the fear. This woman was terrified. He won't marry you, Amber continued. He said he would, after the divorce, after everything's settled. But he's lying. He lies to everyone. What do you want from me, Claire? Shimmy, Claire asks. I need to know. Amber's always broke. Who is he really? Because I thought I knew, but I don't. I don't know him at all. Why would I help you? Claire felt anger rising, hot, cleansing. You slept with my fiancé. You got pregnant. You destroyed my life. I know. Amber was crying now, really crying. I know, and I don't deserve your help. But please, I'm so scared. Claire wanted to hate her, should hate her. But looking at Amber, seeing her fear, her confusion, her youth, all Claire felt was tired. Tell me about Marcus, Claire said. Amber's head snapped up. What? Marcus Westwood, Tyler's brother. You dated him. How did you? Amber stopped. Your lawyer. Tell me about him, Claire repeated. Amber took a shaky breath. Marcus was. He was the love of my life. We met at a gallery opening. He's an architect, brilliant, kind, funny. We dated for 6 months. What happened? Margaret. Amber's voice went bitter. Tyler's mother. She told Marcus I wasn't good enough, that I was using him, that I only wanted his money. Amber wiped her eyes. He believed her, broke up with me, wouldn't even talk to me. And then, Claire prompted, Tyler showed up. 2 weeks later, said he'd heard what happened, said his mother was wrong, said I was amazing, that any man would be lucky to have me. Amber laughed, harsh. I was vulnerable, heartbroken, and he was so kind, so understanding. He targeted you, Rachel said quietly. Yes. Amber looked at Rachel. I see that now. He didn't love me. He wanted to hurt Marcus, and I was the weapon. Claire felt something shift, a piece of the puzzle clicking into place. Tyler is jealous of Marcus. Obsessed, Amber corrected. Marcus is older, more successful. Their father always favored him. Tyler spent his whole life competing, never measuring up. So he stole Marcus's girlfriend, Claire said. Yes, Amber looked at Claire. And then he got engaged to you, the perfect wife, the teacher, pregnant, the ultimate achievement. He was going to have it all, everything Marcus didn't. But he couldn't go through with it, Rachel said. No, Amber's voice dropped, because he doesn't actually want any of it. He just wants to win, to prove he's better than Marcus. And once he got what he wanted, the engagement, the baby, the appearance of success, he didn't need it anymore. Claire stood, walked to the window, looked out at the city, at people living lives that made sense. She turned back. Why are you really here? Claire asked. Amber met her eyes. Because I think Marcus is the father of my baby, not Tyler. The words hung in the air. Impossible. Terrible. True. Marcus and I, Amber swallowed, we saw each other in June before Tyler and I got together, before everything, we had too much wine. We were both sad. It was a mistake. Does Marcus know? Claire asked. No, I never told him. I thought. Amber's voice shook. I hoped it was Tyler's, that the timing worked out, that I could just move forward. But you're not sure, Rachel said. No. Amber looked at her belly. I'm not sure, and Tyler is going to push for a paternity test. Because of your case, because he's trying to avoid responsibility. And when the test comes back, Claire said slowly, showing he's not the father. Everything explodes, Amber finished. Tyler's lies, Marcus finding out, Margaret's manipulation, all of it. What do you want me to do? Claire asked. I don't know. Amber stood, paced. I couldn't do this alone anymore. And you're the only other person who knows what he's really like. Claire wanted to say no, wanted to throw Amber out, wanted to protect herself from more pain. But she thought about the baby, the life growing inside her, her daughter. Who deserved better than a father like Tyler? Who deserved the truth? What if we helped each other? Amber asked quietly. How? Claire asked. I don't know yet. Amber looked at Claire, really looked at her. But we're both going to be single mothers because of him, both dealing with his lies. Maybe together we're stronger. You slept with my fiancé, Claire said. I know. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. Amber's voice was steady now. I'm asking for a truce for our babies. Claire looked at Rachel, her best friend, her truth teller. Rachel shrugged. It's insane, but it might work. I need to think, Claire said, about all of this. Okay, Amber moved toward the door. I understand. I'll I'll wait for you to decide. She left. The door clicked shut. Claire sank onto the couch, exhausted, confused, furious. Every woman in Tyler's life was just a chess piece, moved around, manipulated, used. Well, Claire was done being moved. Rachel, Claire said, call Sandra. Tell her we need to meet tomorrow morning. What are you thinking? Rachel asked. I'm thinking, Claire said slowly, that Tyler's about to find out what happens when the chess pieces fight back. Amber left. The apartment felt empty, haunted. Claire stood in the middle of the living room, surrounded by wedding gifts she hadn't opened. Boxes stacked against walls, reminders of a future that would never happen. You should go home, Claire said to Rachel. It's late. I'm not leaving you alone, Rachel said. I need to be alone, Claire said quietly. Just for tonight, I need to process. Rachel looked uncertain, but finally nodded. Call me if you need anything. Anything at all. After Rachel left, Claire opened one of the wedding gifts. Crystal picture frame. Expensive, heavy. The card said it was from Tyler's office. People who'd smiled at her. Who'd pretended to be happy. Who'd probably known about Amber all along. She looked at the photos on the mantle. Found one from a family dinner. 6 months ago. Her, Tyler, Marcus. All together, smiling. She studied Marcus's face, his kind smile, the way he'd asked about her teaching, about the baby, about whether they needed help setting up the nursery. He'd seemed genuinely interested, genuinely caring. Tyler's arm around her in the photo, possessive, tight. She saw it now, not love, ownership, and the way Tyler looked at Marcus, not brotherly affection, competition, resentment, hatred even. How had she missed all this? How had she been so blind? Claire set down the frame, walked down the hall, to the nursery, the crib assembled, mobile hanging, painted blue because Tyler insisted. Her daughter would sleep in a blue room because Tyler had been so certain, so controlling. Even this, even their baby's room. His choice, his control. Claire sat on the floor, the carpet soft under her. The baby kicked, hard, insistent, like she was angry too. Like even before birth, she knew her father was terrible. It's just you and me, baby girl, Claire whispered, hand on her belly. Just us. And that's going to be enough. It has to be. But was it? Could she do this alone? Single mother, teacher salary, no savings because Tyler had emptied their account, fighting a legal battle she couldn't afford. What if she couldn't give her daughter everything she needed? What if she failed? What if being alone was worse than staying with Tyler? No, she couldn't think that way. Anything was better than Tyler. Then his lies, then the constant manipulation. But the fear remained, cold, crushing, real. Claire's phone sat beside her, and 3 times she picked it up, lock screen. Tyler's face staring back. She needed to change that, delete him from everything. She unlocked it, locked it, unlocked it. No calls, no messages. Not from Tyler, not from anyone who mattered. Complete silence, total abandonment. Claire lay back on the floor, stared at the mobile. Little blue elephant spinning slowly. Tyler had hung it, said it was perfect, said their son would love it. Their daughter, not son, daughter, and Tyler would never know, never meet her, never have the chance to poison her mind with his lies. Maybe that was better. Maybe her daughter was better off without him. But part of Claire grieved, for the father her daughter would never have, for the family they'd never be, for the life she'd imagined, all gone, all destroyed, all lies. Time passed. Claire didn't move, just lay there, belly rising and falling, baby kicking occasionally, reminding her she wasn't alone. Not really. The carpet left marks on her face when she finally stood. Dawn light crept through the window. She'd spent the entire night on the nursery floor. Her back ached. Her feet had swollen, but something had shifted. The darkest moment, the lowest point, and she'd survived it. Claire went to the kitchen, made tea, ate crackers, the morning sickness routine. Except this morning felt different, clearer, stronger. Her phone buzzed, text from Uncle Rob. Court date set, 2 weeks, 9 a.m., Judge Robert Bennett presiding. Claire read it twice. Uncle Rob was the judge. Tyler didn't know, wouldn't know until he walked into that courtroom. A second text. I disclosed our relationship to both attorneys. Everything is legal, but, sweetheart, we're going to nail him. Claire smiled, small, fierce. The first real smile since the wedding. Another text. Her mother. Coming over with breakfast. No arguments. Patricia Bennett arrived 30 minutes later, arms full of food, eyes full of worry. You look terrible, Patricia said. Thanks, Mom. I mean it. When did you last eat? Really eat? Yesterday, maybe. Patricia unpacked containers, scrambled eggs, toast, fruit, protein. She'd always believed problems look smaller on a full stomach. While Claire ate, Patricia cleaned, organized, put away wedding gifts, removed photos of Tyler, created space, fresh air, room to breathe. Mom, Claire said, can I ask you something? Anything, baby. How did you do it? When Dad left, how did you raise me alone? Patricia stopped cleaning, sat down, took Claire's hand. I didn't have a choice. You needed me, so I became the person you needed me to be. Were you scared? Terrified. Patricia squeezed her hand every single day, but then I'd look at you and I'd remember. I wasn't alone, I had you. We had each other. What if I can't do it? You can. Patricia's voice was steel. Certainty. We're fighters, Claire. Always have been. Your grandmother, Mistress, now you. We don't break. We bend. And then we come back stronger. Rachel arrived. Arms full of clothes, comfortable things, soft things. A court-appropriate maternity dress. For next week, Rachel said. You're going to walk into that courtroom looking like the queen you are. Claire tried on the dress, navy blue, elegant, showing her pregnancy proudly, not hiding, not ashamed. She looked in the mirror, not the same woman who'd walked down that aisle. That woman was naive, trusting, blind. This woman? Harder, wiser, surviving. I can't control what he did, Claire said to her reflection, but I control what happens next. Damn right, Rachel said. Claire's phone rang. Sandra Mitchell. Claire, Sandra said, I have the paternity test results. For your baby. Claire's heart pounded. And 99.9%, Tyler is the father, legally, definitively, unquestionably. Thank God. Claire sat down, relief flooding through her. There's more, Sandra said. Amber agreed to take a test, too, for her baby. Results come back day before your court date. Will they show it's Tyler's? Claire asked. I don't know, Sandra said honestly. But either way, we'll be ready. They talked for another 10 minutes. Strategy, timeline, what to expect in court. Sandra was thorough, professional, relentless. After hanging up, Claire felt something she hadn't felt in days. Hope. Not the naive hope of before, the fantasy hope that everything would be okay. This was different, harder, real. The hope that came from facing the worst, surviving it, and deciding to fight back. What are you thinking? Rachel asked. I'm thinking, Claire said, that I'm done being the victim. Tyler wants a war. He's got one. The courthouse loomed, gray stone, white columns, heavy doors that felt symbolic. Closing behind Claire as she entered, Sandra Mitchell met her in the lobby, power suit, briefcase, an army of one. You ready? Sandra asked. No, Claire said honestly, but let's do this anyway. They rode the elevator to the third floor, family court, down a hallway lined with nervous people, crying children, angry couples, the wreckage of failed relationships on full display. Remember, Sandra said, let me do the talking. Don't engage with Tyler. Don't react to anything he says. Just stay calm. Okay. Claire's hands shook. She pressed them against her belly, felt her daughter kick, steady, strong, reminding her why she was here. The courtroom door opened. Inside, wooden benches, high ceilings, fluorescent lights that hummed. Tyler sat at the defendant's table, his lawyer David Brennan beside him. Tyler in an expensive suit, hair perfect, face calm. He didn't look at Claire, didn't acknowledge her existence. Amber sat in the gallery, visible pregnancy, pale face, nervous hands. Marcus sat 3 rows behind her, separate, not together, not even acknowledging each other. Margaret Westwood sat behind Tyler, glaring at everyone, defending her son to the end. More people filed in: Claire's mother, Rachel, Uncle Rob's wife Helen, Aunt Sarah, support, witnesses, family. All rise. Everyone stood. Claire's legs wobbled. Sandra steadied her with a hand on her elbow. The side door opened. A judge walked in, robes, silver hair, serious face. Judge Robert Bennett. Claire watched Tyler's face, saw the recognition, the shock, the panic. He turned to his lawyer, whispered frantically. David Brennan looked confused, then alarmed. Your Honor, David stood. I need to request a sidebar. Denied, Judge Rob said. His voice was ice. Professional, this court is now in session. Be seated. Everyone sat. Tyler kept whispering to David. David looked increasingly uncomfortable. Your Honor, David tried again. I believe there may be a conflict of interest. Noted, Judge Rob said. For the record, the petitioner is my niece. I disclosed this relationship to both counsels 3 weeks ago. At that time, neither party objected. Do you wish to object now, Mr. Brennan? David looked at Tyler. Tyler was white, sweating, cornered. No, Your Honor, David finally said. Excellent. Judge Rob looked at the papers in front of him. Let's proceed. This is a hearing regarding the marriage of Claire Elizabeth Bennett and Tyler James Westwood. Annulment requested by respondent, contested by petitioner. Mr. Brennan, your opening statement. David stood, cleared his throat. Your Honor, my client respectfully requests an annulment of this marriage on the grounds of fraud. Ms. Bennett deliberately misrepresented the paternity of her child. She entrapped my client into a marriage under false pretenses. We request DNA testing and full investigation into her conduct during their relationship. Sandra stood, calm, poised, lethal. Your Honor, the respondent's claims are baseless and cruel. Ms. Bennett has never misrepresented anything. The child she carries is demonstrably Mr. Westwood's. We have DNA evidence to prove it. What we have here is a man who panicked on his wedding day, who abandoned his pregnant fiancée at the altar, who emptied their joint bank account 3 days prior, who conducted a 6-month affair with a coworker, who is now attempting to rewrite history to avoid responsibility. DNA evidence? Judge Rob asked. Yes, Your Honor. Sandra handed papers to the bailiff. Paternity test conducted last week. Results show a 99.9% probability that Mr. Westwood is the father of Ms. Bennett's child. Murmurs in the gallery. Tyler looked sick. Margaret's face crumpled. Mr. Brennan, Judge Rob asked, do you wish to contest these results? We, David looked at Tyler. We request a second test, Your Honor. On what grounds? Judge Rob's voice could have frozen water. Do you have evidence this test was fraudulent, conducted improperly? Any reason to doubt a certified laboratory? No, Your Honor, but, well, then we'll accept these results as accurate. Judge Rob made a note. The child is Mr. Westwood's. Move on. Sandra smiled, tiny, satisfied. Your Honor, we have additional evidence regarding Mr. Westwood's conduct. Bank statements showing he emptied their joint account of $50,000 3 days before the wedding. Credit card statements showing he charged $53,000 in gifts and expenses for his mistress. Text messages proving a 6-month affair. And social media posts made immediately following his abandonment of Ms. Bennett at their wedding ceremony. She handed over more documents. Judge Rob reviewed them. His face remained neutral, professional, but Claire saw the anger in his eyes. Mr. Westwood, Judge Rob said, did you post on social media within minutes of leaving your wedding? Tyler stood, slowly. Yes, Your Honor. What did you post? I said I was finally free to be with my true love. While your pregnant fiancé stood abandoned at the altar? Yes, Tyler's voice was barely audible. And you cleared out your joint bank account before doing this? It was my money too. Was it? Judge Rob leaned forward. Or was it Ms. Bennett's savings? Money she'd earned. Money intended for your child. Tyler said nothing. Your Honor, Sandra stood again. We have one more matter to address, regarding Ms. Amber Hayes. Amber's head snapped up. She looked terrified. Ms. Hayes is carrying a child she claims belongs to Mr. Westwood, Sandra continued. We have reason to believe this claim may be false. We've subpoenaed a paternity test for Ms. Hayes' child as well. On what grounds? David asked. On the grounds that Ms. Hayes previously dated Mr. Westwood's brother, Marcus Westwood, that they had contact during the window of conception for her pregnancy, and that determining true paternity is relevant to this case. Judge Rob looked at the papers. Ms. Boz, Hayes, do you consent to a paternity test? Amber stood, shaking. Yes, Your Honor. I already took one. The results are available. Silence. Heavy. Complete. Your Honor, Sandra said, may we review those results now? Submit them to the court, Judge Rob said. Sandra handed over documents. Judge Rob read them. His eyebrows rose. He read them again. Mr. Brennan, Judge Rob said slowly, you should see these. David took the papers, read. His face went pale. He showed them to Tyler. Tyler read, stood up. What? That's impossible. Order, Judge Rob said sharply. Sit down, Mr. Westwood. Tyler sat, but he was shaking, unraveling. For the record, Judge Rob said, DNA testing shows that Mr. Tyler Westwood is not the father of Ms. Amber Hayes' child. The biological father is Mr. Marcus Westwood. The courtroom erupted. Margaret Westwood fainted. Someone screamed. Marcus stood up. What? Order! Judge Rob banged his gavel. Everyone sit down. Amber was crying. Marcus pushed through the crowd toward her. When? How? I'm sorry, Amber sobbed. I'm so sorry. It was one time in June, before Tyler, before everything. You told me it was mine, Tyler yelled at Amber. You said the baby was mine. I thought it was, Amber yelled back. The timing was close. I hoped it was yours. I wanted it to be yours. Because you wanted my money, Tyler snapped. No, Amber said, because I loved Marcus. I've always loved Marcus. You were revenge, proof I'd moved on. Except I hadn't. I never did. Marcus looked between Amber and Tyler, understanding dawning. You used her to get to me. She came to me, Tyler said, but his voice wavered. Liar, Marcus said. You've been jealous your whole life. You couldn't stand that I was successful. The dad favored me. So you took my girlfriend, got engaged to Claire, tried to have everything I didn't. You had everything, Tyler exploded. You always had everything, the talent, the praise, the love. I got nothing. I was nothing. Just Tyler, the disappointment, the failure. So you made everyone else suffer, Marcus asked quietly. Claire, Amber, your own child. Tyler had no answer. He sank into his chair, broken, exposed, empty. Judge Rob let the silence stretch, then spoke. Mr. Westwood, you have humiliated your pregnant wife publicly. You have lied about paternity. You have emptied your joint accounts. You have conducted an affair with a woman you stole from your own brother. All of this is documented, proven, undeniable. Your Honor, Tyler tried, you're her uncle. This is biased. I disclosed our relationship, Judge Rob said. His voice was steel. Counsel accepted. Any objections? David Brennan wisely stayed silent. Here is my ruling, Judge Rob continued. Annulment denied. This will be a divorce, with consequences. Mr. Westwood, you will immediately restore the $50,000 to the joint account. You will pay Ms. Bennett's legal fees in full. You will cover all prenatal expenses, all birthing expenses, all medical costs for your child. Child support will be established at maximum levels. You will have no custody rights until such time as you prove fitness as a parent, which, given your conduct, seems unlikely. Tyler's lawyer was writing frantically. Tyler just sat there, defeated. Furthermore, Judge Rob continued, you will pay damages for emotional distress, for public humiliation, For fraud, for breach of trust, I'm awarding Ms. Bennett $200,000 in compensatory damages. Margaret gasped. Tyler looked like he might vomit. This court is adjourned. Judge Rob stood. And Mr. Westwood, grow up. Be a better man, for your child's sake. He left. The courtroom exploded in noise. People talking, shouting, crying. Claire sat perfectly still, hand on her belly, while chaos swirled around her. She felt calm, centered, sane, the sanest person in this room. And that felt like victory. The courthouse hallway was chaos. People everywhere. Reporters, family, strangers, all wanting to know what happened inside. Sandra guided Claire through the crowd, protective, fierce. No comment, no comment. Move aside, please. They made it to a side hallway, quieter. Sandra checked to make sure no one followed, then turned to Claire. You okay? Sandra asked. I don't know, Claire said honestly. That was a lot. That was justice, Sandra corrected, and you deserved every bit of it. Claire's legs felt weak. She leaned against the wall. The baby kicked, hard, like she was celebrating too. Claire, a male voice. Claire turned. Marcus stood there, hesitant, sad. Can we talk? Sandra stepped between them. I don't think that's a good idea. Please, Marcus said, just for a minute. Claire looked at him, really looked. He had Tyler's features, but gentler, kinder, real. It's okay, Claire told Sandra. Give us a minute. Sandra moved away, but stayed close, protective. I'm so sorry, Marcus said. I had no idea Tyler was using you, using any of us. I should have seen it, should have stopped it. How could you have known? Claire asked. Because I'm his brother. I know what he's like, the jealousy, the competition. Our father always favored me, made no secret of it. Tyler grew up in my shadow. I knew he resented me, but I hoped he'd move past it. Marcus shook his head. I was wrong. It's not your fault, Claire said. Isn't it? Marcus looked at her. If I'd paid attention, if I'd reached out to Amber, if I'd gotten to know you better, maybe I could have warned you. Maybe, Claire said, or maybe this was always going to happen. Tyler made his choices, not you. Marcus was quiet for a moment. Amber and we need to talk, figure things out, for the baby. That's good, Claire said, and meant it. If you need anything, Marcus said, for your daughter, anything at all, please ask. Tyler might be her father, but I'm her uncle, and I want to be part of her life, if you'll let me. Claire studied him, saw sincerity, genuine care. Maybe, someday, let's get through this first. Fair enough. Marcus smiled, sad but real. Take care of yourself, Claire. He walked back toward the courtroom, toward Amber, who waited nervously. They stood apart, not touching, but talking, starting a conversation that was 6 months overdue. That was gracious, Sandra said, rejoining Claire. He's not Tyler, Claire said. That's all I needed to know. They walked toward the exit, almost there, almost free. Claire, another voice. This one made Claire stop cold. Margaret Westwood stood there, Tyler's mother, the woman who'd called her a seducer, who'd blamed her for everything. Mrs. Westwood, Claire said carefully, please. Margaret looked older, fragile. Let me speak. Sandra tensed, ready to intervene, but Claire nodded. I was wrong, Margaret said. Her voice shook. About you, about everything. I raised Tyler wrong. I compared my sons constantly, made everything a competition. Tyler became what he became because of me. You didn't make him leave me at the altar, Claire said. No. Margaret dabbed her eyes. But I created the monster who did. I'm so sorry for what he did to you, for what I said, for all of it. Claire didn't know what to say. This woman had been cruel, vicious, but she was also suffering, seeing her son for what he really was. I won't ask for forgiveness, Margaret continued. I don't deserve it, but I want you to know. I'll make sure Tyler pays every penny he owes you. I'll make sure your daughter is provided for. It's the least I can do. I don't want your money, Claire said. I just want peace. Then I'll give you that too. Margaret looked at Claire's belly. May I? Claire nodded. Margaret gently placed her hand on Claire's stomach. The baby kicked, strong, defiant. She's a fighter, Margaret said, smiling through tears, just like her mother. Mrs. Westwood, Claire said gently, Tyler did this, not you. You can't fix his mistakes. I can try. Margaret pulled back. Goodbye, Claire. I hope. I hope your daughter has a beautiful life. She walked away, back toward the courtroom, toward Tyler, who stood alone now. Margaret walked right past him, didn't stop, didn't look back. Tyler watched his mother leave, watched his world crumble. Then he turned, saw Claire. Their eyes met across the crowded hallway. For just a second, Claire saw something there. Not love, not regret, just emptiness. Tyler was hollow inside, always had been. She'd just been too blinded by hope to see it. Claire turned away, walked toward the exit, toward sunlight, toward freedom. Wait, Tyler's voice. Claire, wait. She didn't. She kept walking, Sandra beside her, Vern. Moving forward, away from the past, away from the pain. Behind them, Tyler called her name. Again. Again. She didn't turn around. Didn't acknowledge him, just walked out those heavy courthouse doors into fresh air. Outside, people were waiting. Her mother, Rachel, Aunt Helen, Uncle Rob, now in street clothes, all smiling, all proud. You did it, Rachel said, hugging Claire. You actually did it. We did it, Claire corrected, looking at all of them. Her army, her family. Celebration dinner, Uncle Rob said. My house, Helen's cooking. No arguments. They drove to Rob's house, the Victorian with blue shutters. Inside smelled like home, like safety, like new beginnings. Dinner was loud, happy, full of laughter and relief. Claire ate real food for the first time in weeks, tasted it, enjoyed it. After dinner, she excused herself, went to the bathroom, sat on the closed toilet lid, just needed a minute to process, to feel. She looked at her reflection in the mirror. Same face, same pregnant belly, but something had shifted in her eyes, in the set of her jaw. She wasn't the same woman who'd walked down that aisle. That woman was gone, dead, left at the altar with all her naive dreams. This woman was harder, wiser, surviving. The hardest part wasn't losing him. It was admitting I deserved better all along. A knock on the door. Claire? Her mother's voice. You okay in there? Yeah, Mom. Claire stood, washed her hands, looked at herself one more time. I'm good. I'm really good. She opened the door, joined her family, her real family, the people who'd fought for her, protected her, loved her. Tyler's carefully constructed world had cracked wide open, the truth exposed, justice served. And Claire? Claire was finally free to build something new, something real, something hers. 3 weeks passed, Claire moved into a new apartment, smaller, cheaper, but hers. No memories of Tyler, no ghosts, just clean white walls and empty rooms waiting to be filled. Rachel helped her unpack. Her mother bought new dishes. Uncle Rob assembled furniture. Slowly, Claire built a home. The nursery came together. Pink walls this time. Not blue, Claire's choice. Her daughter's room. Mobile with butterflies instead of elephants. Books on shelves. Soft blankets. Everything ready. Money came through. Tyler paid. His mother made sure of it. The joint account restored. Legal fees covered. Damages deposited. Claire had more money now than she'd ever had. Enough to take maternity leave. Enough to breathe. The story went viral. Local news. Then national. Groom abandons pregnant bride. The headline everyone wanted. Claire declined all interviews. Stayed quiet. Let the facts speak for themselves. Tyler disappeared. Some said he moved to another state. Others said he was living with friends. Either way, he was gone. Silent. Irrelevant. Sandra called with updates. Divorce proceedings, custody arrangements, child support orders. All the legal machinery grinding forward. Tyler's lawyer wants to negotiate visitation, Sandra said during one call. After the baby's born. Supervised visits initially. No, Claire said immediately. Claire, legally he has rights. Then we'll fight it. Claire's voice was steel. I'll do whatever it takes. He abandoned her before she was even born. He doesn't get to play daddy now. Sandra was quiet, then, okay, we will fight it together. 2 days later, Claire got an unexpected phone call. Claire, it's Denise from the wedding planner, the woman who'd seen everything, who'd helped Claire out of that church. Hi, Denise, Claire said carefully. I wanted to reach out, see how you're doing, if you need anything. Denise paused. I know this is weird. We don't really know each other, but I haven't been able to stop thinking about you, about what happened. That's kind of you, Claire said. Can I be honest? Denise asked. Sure. I've been planning weddings for 15 years. 500 of them, I've seen it all. Cold feet, family drama, budget disasters. But what Tyler did? Denise's voice shook with anger. That was the worst thing I've ever witnessed. And I want you to know, I left him terrible reviews everywhere. Made sure every venue in the city knows what he did. He'll never get married anywhere decent again. Claire laughed. Actually laughed. You did that? Damn right I did. No one treats a pregnant woman like that. Not on my watch. Thank you, Claire said, meaning it. If you ever want to get coffee, Denise said, as friends, no wedding talk, just, I'd like that. I'd like that too, Claire said. They met the following week, coffee shop on Madison, the same one where Claire almost met Amber. Different outcome this time. Denise was funny, irreverent, real. She shared horror stories from weddings, disasters averted, bridezillas managed. They laughed until Claire's sides hurt. Your tribe finds you when you need them, Denise said. That's what my grandma always said. I'm starting to believe that, Claire said. At home that night, Claire's phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer, but something made her. Claire, it's Amber. Claire tensed. What do you want? I'm sorry to bother you. Marcus and I, we've been talking, working things out for the baby, and I wanted to tell you, thank you. For what? For not hating me. I mean, you probably do hate me. I wouldn't blame you. But you didn't destroy me in court. You could have. Sandra could have made me look terrible, but you didn't. What would that have accomplished? Claire asked. Nothing, I know, but still, it was mercy I didn't deserve. Amber paused. Marcus wants to be involved. With the baby. We're not getting back together. Not yet. Maybe not ever. But we're trying to be adult about this. That's good, Claire said. I had the baby, Amber said softly. Last week. A boy. 7 pounds, 3 ounces. Congratulations, Claire said, and meant it. His name is Henry. Marcus picked it, after his grandfather. Amber's voice shook. He's perfect, Claire. And I look at him and I think, thank God he's not Tyler's. Thank God. Claire understood. Completely. I hope your daughter is healthy, Amber said. I hope she's nothing like Tyler. She won't be, Claire said. I'll make sure of that. They hung up. Claire sat with her phone. Processing. Amber had a baby. Marcus had a son. A whole new family tree blooming from the wreckage. And somewhere Tyler was alone. No Claire, no Amber, no baby, no family. Just himself and the emptiness he'd created. That felt like justice too. Not revenge, not punishment, just natural consequences. Claire went to the nursery, sat in the rocking chair, placed both hands on her belly. Her daughter kicked, strong, constant, ready to enter the world. Almost time, little one, Claire whispered. Just a few more weeks, and then we start our adventure. Just you and me. Her phone buzzed. Text from Rachel. Dinner tomorrow? I'm cooking. Another text from her mother. Doctor's appointment Thursday. I'm drying. No arguments. Another from Denise. Found a great consignment shop. Baby clothes. Want to go? Another from Uncle Rob. Thinking of you. Love you, sweetheart. Message after message. People caring. People checking in. People being family. Claire wasn't alone. Had never been alone. Even when Tyler made her feel that way. Even when he isolated her. Her people were there, waiting, ready. She just had to let them in. We're going to be okay, Claire said to her daughter, to herself. Better than okay. We're going to be great. 3 months later, Claire woke to pain. Deep, rhythmic, unmistakable. Labor. She called her mother. It's time. I'm on my way. She called Rachel. It's happening. I'm right behind your mom. She called Uncle Rob. The baby's coming. We'll meet you at the hospital. At the hospital, nurses moved efficiently, checked vitals, monitored contractions, made Claire comfortable, or as comfortable as possible when a tiny human was trying to exit your body. Her mother held one hand, Rachel the other. They coached her through contractions, breathed with her, reminded her she could do this. You're doing great, the doctor said. Just a few more pushes. Claire pushed, screamed, pushed again, pain beyond description, beyond comprehension, but also purpose, power, life. One more, the doctor said. Come on, Claire, one more big push. Claire pushed with everything she had, every ounce of strength, every bit of determination, every drop of fight, and then a high, loud, furious. It's a girl, the doctor announced. Healthy baby girl. They placed her on Claire's chest, warm, wet, screaming. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Hi, baby, Claire whispered. Hi, Lily, I'm your mama. Lily Patricia Bennett, not Westwood, Bennett. Claire's family name, her grandmother's name, her mother's middle name, a legacy of strong women. Now one more added to the line. She's beautiful, Patricia cried. Oh, Claire, she's perfect. 10 fingers, Rachel counted. 10 toes, 2 lungs that clearly work. Claire counted 2, fingers and toes. The ritual passed down through generations. Her mother had done it when Claire was born, her grandmother before that. Now Claire, making sure her daughter was whole, complete, real. Lily stopped crying, blinked up at Claire with dark eyes, alert, aware, already studying the world. You're going to be amazing, Claire told her. Strong and brave, and nothing like your father, everything like you. Later, after cleaning and measuring and tests, they moved Claire to a recovery room. Lily in a bassinet beside the bed, sleeping now, peaceful, safe. Claire couldn't stop staring at her. This tiny person, this miracle, this life she'd created. Half of Lily came from Tyler, but half came from Claire, and Claire's half would be enough, would be everything. Uncle Rob visited, brought flowers, stood beside the bassinet looking down at Lily with tears in his eyes. Your grandfather would be so proud. Think so? Claire asked. I know so. Rob wiped his eyes. She looks like you did, when you were born. Same little nose, same determined chin. Determined is good, Claire said. Determined will save the world, Rob agreed. More visitors came. Aunt Helen, Rachel's family, co-workers from school, everyone bringing gifts, offering congratulations, celebrating new life. Sandra stopped by. How's my favorite client? Exhausted, Claire said. Happy, terrified. All normal. Sandra looked at Lily. She's perfect. Worth all of it. Yes, Claire agreed. Worth everything. Tyler's lawyer reached out, Sandra said carefully. Wants to discuss visitation again. No, Claire said immediately. I figured. Just wanted you to know. Sandra squeezed Claire's hand. We'll keep fighting, for as long as it takes. 3 days later, they went home. Claire carried Lily in the car seat. So small, so fragile. The drive felt dangerous. Every car a threat, every turn too sharp. But they made it. To the new apartment, to the nursery with pink walls and butterfly mobile. Claire placed Lily in the crib, watched her sleep, marveled that this was real, that Lily was hers, that they'd made it through. That night, Claire's phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. I heard you had the baby. Congratulations. Can I meet her? Tyler. Claire stared at the message, read it 3 times, then deleted it, blocked the number, moved on. He didn't deserve a response, didn't deserve access, didn't deserve anything. Lily woke crying. Claire lifted her, fed her, changed her, rocked her back to sleep. The rhythm of new motherhood, exhausting, relentless, beautiful. Your father is a coward, Claire whispered to sleeping Lily. He ran from us, from responsibility, from love. But that's his loss, not ours. We're going to be just fine without him. Weeks passed, then months. Claire got better at the routine, sleep-deprived but functioning. Lily grew, changed, became a person, with preferences, with personality, with opinions expressed through crying or smiling or the way she grabbed Claire's finger. At 6 weeks, Claire drove past the church, the one where she'd stood in a white dress, where her world had ended and begun again. She pulled over, parked, Lily in the back seat in her car seat, sleeping peacefully. "That's where Mama almost made the biggest mistake," Claire said softly. "That's where I was going to marry your father, but he left, and I thought it was the worst thing that ever happened." Claire looked at the church. White stone, beautiful architecture. Just a building, no power, no meaning beyond what she gave it. "I was wrong," Claire continued. "It wasn't the worst thing. It was the best thing, because if he'd stayed, if he'd gone through with it, I'd be trapped, married to a liar, a manipulator, a man who didn't know how to love." Lily stirred, made a small sound, settled back to sleep. "But he left, and I was free, free to be me, free to raise you right, free to build a life that's ours." Claire smiled. "Sometimes the worst thing that happens to you is actually the best thing that never happened." A wedding party emerged from the church, bride and groom smiling, kissing, guests throwing rice, photographers snapping pictures, the beginning of someone else's story. Claire hoped theirs ended better, hoped they knew each other better, hoped love was real for them. She started the car, drove away, toward home, toward Lily, toward the future. And at home, Claire changed Lily, fed her, played with her. Normal things, beautiful things, the small moments that made a life. Her phone rang, new number. Claire answered carefully. "Hello? Claire, it's Marcus." "Hi, Marcus," Claire said. Surprised but not unwelcoming. "I'm sorry to bother you, I wanted you to know. Henry is doing great, growing like crazy. Amber and I we're working on things, taking it slow, but trying." "That's really good," Claire said. "I also wanted to ask if maybe, someday, when you're ready, if Lily could meet Henry. They're cousins, technically, half-cousins, and I think it would be good for both of them to know they have family." Claire thought about it, about Tyler, about Marcus, about the difference between them. "Not yet, but maybe, in a few years, when they're older, when it makes sense." "Fair enough," Marcus said. "Thank you for considering it. And Claire, you're doing a great job. With Lily, with everything. Tyler doesn't deserve you. Never did." "I know," Claire said. And she did. Finally. Completely. After hanging up, Claire looked at Lily. Perfect. Innocent. Deserving of everything good in the world. "You have an uncle," Claire told her. "Uncle Marcus. He's good. He's kind. Someday you'll meet him. And his son, your cousin, and you'll have family. Real family. Not perfect, but real." Lily yawned, stretched, tiny fists reaching toward nothing, toward everything. Claire pulled out her phone, opened her photo album, found pictures from a year ago. Her in a wedding dress. Tyler beside her. Both smiling. She looked at that Claire, young, naive, hopeful. She wanted to warn her, to tell her to run, to save her from the pain coming. But she couldn't. That Claire had to walk through fire, had to break, had to rebuild, to become this Claire, the one who survived, who fought, who won. Claire deleted the photos, all of them. Tyler's face disappeared from her camera roll, from her history, from her life. Only Lily remained. Only the future mattered. "We made it," Claire whispered to her daughter. "Through the darkness, through the pain, through everything, and we're here, together, free." 1 year ago, Claire Bennett stood at an altar and watched her future walk away. She'd thought her life was over, that she'd lost everything, that the pain would never end. But she'd been wrong about all of it. The prison door had been unlocked all along. Tyler didn't trap her. She'd trapped herself, with fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of admitting that she deserved more than crumbs of affection between his lies. He didn't leave her at that altar. He freed her. And now, finally, Claire understood. Marriage to Tyler wouldn't have been a beginning. It would have been a slow death. A lifetime of laze and loneliness and pretending everything was fine. This life, single motherhood, small apartment, tight budget, exhausting days and sleepless nights. This was hard, really hard, but it was hers, real, true, built on love instead of lies. Thank you, Claire whispered, to Lily, to the universe, to herself, for giving me the courage to stay free. Lily opened her eyes, dark and deep and wise beyond her months. She looked at Claire, really looked, and smiled. Wide, joyful, perfect. And in that smile, Claire saw the future. Not the one she'd planned, not the fantasy she'd dreamed, but the real one. The one where she was enough, where they were enough, where love wasn't perfect, but it was true. I love you, baby girl, Claire said. More than anything, more than everything. Lily grabbed Claire's finger, held tight, anchoring herself to her mother, to safety, to home, and Claire held back, just as tight, just as sure. They'd made it, through the worst, through the pain, through the breaking and rebuilding. Now finally they were whole, not despite what happened, because of it. Sometimes the worst thing that happens to you is actually the best thing that never happened. And sometimes the best thing is what comes after. Freedom, truth, love, life. Everything Tyler couldn't give. Everything Claire didn't need him to give. Everything she already had. Everything she always was. Enough. More than enough. Everything. And that finally was enough. If Claire's story touched your heart, I'd love to know. Drop a comment below telling me what moment hit you the hardest. Was it the altar scene, the courtroom revelation, or that final moment of freedom? And if you believe stories like this matter, stories about women who survive, who fight back, who win, hit that like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe so you never miss a story of strength, courage, and second chances. Because every voice matters, and yours might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Thank you for being here, for listening, for caring. Now let's begin.